Welcome, language enthusiasts. You've arrived at A's Linguistics, your portal to unraveling the mechanics of language. Let's dive into today's adventure.
Deciphering the code, how humans perceive speech sounds.
Speech perception, the ability to understand spoken language, is a complex process that involves the intricate interplay of the auditory system, linguistic knowledge, and cognitive processes. The human brain seamlessly integrates acoustic information with prior knowledge and contextual cues to decode the continuous stream of speech sounds into meaningful words and sentences. The auditory system, a symphony of sound. The journey of speech perception begins with the auditory system. Sound waves travel through the ear, where they are converted into electrical signals that the brain can interpret. The auditory cortex, located in the temporal lobe, is the primary brain region responsible for processing these signals. Within the auditory cortex, specialized neurons respond to different frequencies and temporal patterns in the speech signal, enabling us to distinguish between various speech sounds. The segmentation problem, untangling the stream. One of the key challenges in speech perception is the segmentation problem. Unlike written language, where words are neatly separated by spaces, speech is a continuous stream of sounds. This poses a problem for the listener, who must somehow figure out where one word ends and the next begins. Acoustic cues, such as pauses and changes in pitch and intensity, can help to segment the speech stream, but these cues are not always reliable. For example, the same acoustic signal can be perceived as two different words depending on the context. This ambiguity is illustrated by the phrase ice cream and ice cream, which sound identical but have distinct meanings. Listeners rely heavily on their knowledge of the language to overcome the segmentation problem. Our understanding of phonotactics, the rules governing sound combinations in a language, and our mental lexicon, our internal dictionary of words, guide us in segmenting the speech stream and identifying individual words. The Mgherk effect, when sight and sound collide. The Mgherk effect is a striking demonstration of how visual information can influence speech perception. In this illusion, viewers watch a video of a person mouthing one syllable, for example, ga, while listening to an audio track of a different syllable, for example, ba. Astonishingly, most people perceive a third syllable that is a blend of the visual and auditory information, such as da. The Mgherk effect highlights the multimodal nature of speech perception. Our brains integrate visual cues from the speaker's lip movements with the auditory information from the speech signal to create a unified perceptual experience. This integration occurs rapidly and automatically, often without conscious awareness. Beyond segmentation, categorical perception and context effects. Categorical perception refers to our tendency to perceive speech sounds as belonging to distinct categories, even when the acoustic signal varies continuously. For example, the voicing contrast in stop consonants, like the difference between ba and pa, is determined by voice onset time, VOT. The delay between the release of a stop closure and the onset of vocal cord vibration. While VOT varies continuously, listeners perceive a sharp categorical boundary between voiced and voiceless stops. Sounds with voice onset times shorter than the boundary are perceived as voiced, while those with longer VOTs are perceived as voiceless, with no in-between. This categorical perception helps us to efficiently process speech sounds and ignore irrelevant acoustic variations. Contextual information plays a crucial role in speech perception. Our knowledge of the surrounding words, the sentence structure, and the overall meaning of the message can influence how we perceive individual speech sounds. This top-down processing allows us to fill in missing information, resolve ambiguity, and understand speech even in noisy or degraded environments. For example, in the phonemic restoration effect, listeners can hear missing sounds in a sentence if the context provides sufficient cues. Speech perception is a remarkably complex and multifaceted process. It involves the intricate coordination of the auditory system, linguistic knowledge, and cognitive processes. Understanding how humans perceive speech is essential for developing effective speech recognition technologies, treating speech and language disorders, and gaining a deeper appreciation for the extraordinary capabilities of the human brain. Hope you enjoyed this dive into linguistics. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.